The absolute worst part of an event is that I absolutely wreck the joint before I go, so I have to do some serious cleaning up before we can take a look at the new fish that I got. Hey guys, and welcome back. I am home from CatCon, and the first thing that I always do when I get home is control the chaos, because inevitably I make a massive mess when packing for these things. I also like to go around and spot clean and do water changes, as well as feed all the fish. So I thought today we would just check in on some of the stuff I moved in from the tubs, and look at some of the new things I got. Now, I also took the opportunity this past week to finally replace all of my specimen containers and my nets, as well as pick up a hang-on back filter. It's been a long time since I used one, but my favorites have always been Aqua Clear. And I'm starting to have some algae issues in the Lake Tanganyika tank that I set up for my birthday. And I want to be able to address those issues and be able to use media to remove any potential chemicals that I may have to add. So I just picked up an Aqua Clear as well. Now, I did pick up several species of shrimp and some wild bettas this weekend, and we're going to try and take a look at them. Now, the bettas might be a bit shy still, and they also happen to be in the secret tank I haven't shown you guys, so we're going to have to be covert about looking at them. Otherwise, things in the fish room are pretty much unchanged. I did consult with a vet this weekend about Captain, and we might be trying some new things. It all depends on his quality of life, so that's something that I may or may not talk about again in the future. Anyway, let's take a look at some of the new critters and the fish around the fish room and see how they're doing. All the shrimp are doing really well. These are, of course, the blue Neocaridina that I bred outside this year. Next door we have the yellows, which are also looking really good. Next door to them we have all the cherry shrimp, and you can see that they are looking fantastically good as well. I was really stoked, as you guys know, about how well all the shrimp did outside this year. And then over here we have baby rainbows. These are Cyanobacteria, oh, and the baby rosy loaches. That's baby rosy loach in the foreground there. And the bright yellow guys are the baby rainbows. We have some lemon white clouds. Next door to them, we have all the bajillions of rice fish. Now, I picked up some pinto shrimp at the event, and one thing that I always do when I get in shrimp from a new source is I put them in a relatively bare aquarium that's absolutely coated in algae. And this allows me to be able to keep a really close eye on how they're doing in those first initial weeks. And then once they're settled in, I'll move them into a tank that has a bit more decor. These killies are looking really good. Putting on some size. Such a beautiful little live bear. As are the endlers. So far, I haven't had any issues with any of the critters I moved in from outside, which makes me super happy. And I just have the white clouds to move back in. It's supposed to be in the 80s all week, but I think I'm going to try and move them in by Thursday, just so that I'm not playing the weather game with them. So these are lemon white cloud fry that I got from my friend Sheila. A lot of times when people breed fish outdoors, just to enjoy the tubbing experience, they don't exactly know or have an outlet to deal with all the fry. So I'll purchase them in bulk, as long as it's a reasonable quantity, and then finish raising them up to have, works out for everybody. They get to enjoy their tubs, and I get some healthy quality livestock. I also picked up some new tangerine tigers. This is a species I've worked with a lot over the years. and that I do like to keep in the fish room. So I didn't have them anymore. So I grabbed a group of these as well to restart. Again, they're in a bare tank with an algae-covered sponge filter. And then once they've gotten through a week or two of observation, I'll add in some decor for them. Now I also bought betta and bellas for this aquarium, but as is pretty typical when you get a new shyer fish, they have decided to not show themselves yet. So we're going to have to give them a bit of time to settle in, I guess, before we can really enjoy them. I picked them up from a breeder I know out in Pittsburgh who was at the event, who raises some really, really nice fish. So I'm hoping it doesn't bite me in the butt that I didn't give them an individual quarantine for this aquarium. Again, at some point in the future, we will take a close look at the build of this aquarium. I am just letting all the plants grow in before I do so, and it's taking some time. But crescent bettas are what I chose for this aquarium, and I did get 2 trios, and I'm hoping that in the next week or so we'll really get to start to see a lot more of them. But wild bettas aren't the most outgoing, so we're going to have to be patient and see. And the nice thing about this aquarium is that it has plenty of hiding places for them, so it may take a little bit longer than we had hoped to really get a good look at them. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss learning how I deal with Cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria is a blue-green bacteria that looks like an algae, but it's as mentioned, a bacteria, and it can be a real pain in the butt to deal with. And it has decided to show up in my birthday tank. So I'm going to tell you guys, hopefully, how I deal with that. See all these fish are looking really good. Nice round bellies. Grumpy face fishes in the back there. They're starting to get some of the barring that they get. They're so cute. But yeah, stay tuned for that. And then I have a few other gardening things I want to do. This is a really busy time of the year for me, so we're gonna see if I can continue to do daily or not. Best way to find out is have that bell on. As always, thank you guys for your continued support.